What's going on, guys? It's your boy Hakage Puya here, and we are a month out from Euro 2024. It's May 14th, June 14th, opening match, opening day, host nation Germany taking on Scotland. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We're a month out to the day, and I thought it's perfect time to drop my Euro 2024 group stage predictions. We're going to go through every single group, go through every single team real quickly, and I'm going to give you guys my 1 through 4 prediction for every group. And at the end, I'm going to also show you guys my 4 out of the 6 teams of the third place teams that I think will go on to the knockout stages, the round of 16 phase of the tournament. So I'm excited. Quick thoughts on the Euros. I think this is going to be a very open tournament. The main favorites are England and France, but Germany, Portugal, the Dutch, all these guys, there's dark horses. There's going to be drama. There's going to be upsets. It's going to be an exciting tournament. I cannot wait for the summer alongside Copa America. But without further ado, I don't want to waste your guys' time. Let's get into the business, the real business of why we're here. Group A. Group A. I hope you guys like my Google Slides. Look at this. Look at this slide work. Look at this slide work. Give me that respect for the slide work. Group A, Germany. Shit. It's been the last two World Cups are crap. We lost in. By the way, I'm a German. I got the Germany shirt on with the different kits. Last 2 World Cups group stage exits. Last Euros we went out to in the round of 16 to England, which was a very close game in Wembley, but still just not good enough. We should be beating England. We are Germany, 4-time World Cup winners. We got that shit on. Look at Tony Kroos's jersey. You see those 4 stars? That's history right there. But the interesting thing about Germany is, first of all, home nation, and home nation tax is a real thing. Teams that win at home, teams who play at home in international football typically have that extra juice. Just look at this year in the Asia Cup and AFCON. The host nations won the whole tournament, Qatar and Ivory Coast. So Germany, let's see what happens. But the very interesting thing about this Germany team is, for the first time in a while for this group of players and this federation, they have a ton of players coming into the tournament in form. Just think about it. Neuer has been fantastic for Bayern. Kimmich, probably best right back in the world on form. Rudiger, best center back in the world. Ta, the center back leader of the Leverkusen team, which is 3 games away from playing a completely undefeated season in all competitions. Mittelstadt having a fantastic season at Stuttgart. For the midfield, Kroos, Pavlovic, Gross, Füllkrug, Havertz, Wirtz, Musiala, Brandt, Sane, all these players, Muller, guys like Muller coming off the bench. It's a very strong and deep Germany team all of a sudden with these players in form. So yeah, it's looking good for Germany for the first time also. I named you guys the defenders. The defense is finally looking strong for Germany since peak Boateng and Hummels kind of shifted out of the team. The defensive solidity wasn't there. We're looking at a Germany defense that could easily get those clean sheets and easily give teams a hard time to give them goals. They won't let teams score easily. That's what I'm trying to get at. So, the only thing about the Germany team is the fan base is not too excited. Our standards are high, and we got knocked out in the group stage of 2 back-to-back World Cups, and we got pimped by England in a close game in the round of 16 last Euros. So fan excitement isn't too high, but come June, I'm sure the German fans will turn it around. It's a continental tournament in your country. They'll get excited. The fans will be there. So for Germany, man, I think for the expectations for this German team, quarterfinals, semifinals would be a successful tournament for Germany. Definitely avoid group stage exit. Scotland, led by Steve Clark. Not really much to say on Scotland. They were strong in the Euros, the Euro qualifying. They weren't one of the teams that had to go to the playoffs. They went in a second place behind Spain in their group. They even pimped Spain 3-0, if I remember correctly, early in the qualification stages. So that was impressive. But for me, when I look at the Scotland team, I think of passion, defense, counter. Passion, defense, counter. Really, I think that's the game plan. And Steve Clark is going to set his team up like that. The Scotland manager. They have players like Robertson, who is slightly on the downfall in his career. They have Tierney, who at Real Sociedad. Scott McSauce leading the attack of the Scotland team. McGinn, who's having a decent season for Aston Villa this year. They just qualified for the Champions League today. Aston Villa, crazy achievement. McGinn has been central to that achievement. So, yeah, Scotland got some players, but, for Scotland, they have to pull from the energy of their fans. That's what they typically do. I'm sure the Scottish fans will be there in full force in their kilts and everything. So, yeah, Scotland, for me, their goal should be get out of the groups, but it's going to be difficult. Hungary. Now, we know from last Euros, and I know very well, because Germany and Hungary were in the same group, in the group of death last Euros. This team is a tough team to beat. The way I would describe this Hungary team when it comes to these big moments, like we saw in the Euros, they are tough to beat. They will make your life a living hell on that football pitch. And they have players, man. Gulashi in goal, Willie Orban in defense, Roman Chalai from Freiburg up top, Soboslai, the big high profile player of this Hungary team. So they got players. They got players. So this Hungary team, I do think they were unlucky to be in the group of death last Euros. I think they were well good enough to make it to the knockout stages, and they could have made a run. They were tough to score against. They were tough to score against. But I do think overall, I think this Hungary team, top to bottom, is weaker than the last Euros team. But that's not to say they're just trash. Like players like Soboslai and them have gotten better since then. So, but I do think they're slightly weaker, but that doesn't go against them. I think Hungary have a real chance at getting out of the groups this year, and that should definitely be their goal. The Hungary fan base, the Hungary fans that travel to this tournament should be pushing this team to qualify into the round of 16. So yeah, Hungary, let's see what happens. Let's see if they're as strong as they were 3 years ago. And Switzerland, man, the interesting thing about Switzerland is I really thought they were on the downfall after the last World Cup. Unimpressive, got pimped and destroyed and circumcised 6-1 in the round of 16. Goncalo Ramos, remember the hat trick, Ronaldo was benched that game. And I really thought it was a downfall, but since that World Cup defeat and embarrassment in the round of 16, some of these Swiss players, man, have done a madness. Akanji, starting center back in treble-winning Manchester City team. Granit Xhaka is about to be the main midfielder in a Leverkusen team, just like Jonathan Tah, who's about to go a complete undefeated season in all competitions. And Granit Xhaka in 2024 is at least a top 10, if not maybe top 5 midfielder in the world. They have probably second or third best goalkeeper depth in the world in Gregor Kobel, Dortmund keeper who's going to the Champions League final, and Jan Sommer, who's best goalie in the Serie A and has just led from the goal Inter to get that Serie A title. So this Swiss team, man, they got players. I think I'm missing someone. Who am I? Yeah, obviously Shaqiri on the screen. Yes, Shaqiri isn't at the peak of his powers, but Shaqiri is the kind of guy who shows up for his nation. He's the kind of guy who always shows up for his nation. Remember last Euros, Switzerland, big win against France in the round of 16 on penalties. Jan Sommer saving Mbappe's penalty, and then ended up losing in the quarterfinals. I do think the Swiss team, with the players they have right now, the form they're on, they have the potential to make another quarterfinal and should definitely be trying to get out of this group. So for my final group rating, 4th place, I'm sorry, Scotland. I'm sorry. I'd love for you to prove me wrong, but I'm going 4th place for Scotland. I don't think the passion is going to be good enough to get past these teams. 3rd place, I'm going Hungary. Yes, I said they were strong and tough to beat, but I think Switzerland's players, Xhaka, Akanji, Sommer, I think they're just going to be too strong, but maybe I'll choose Hungary. Maybe I'll choose Hungary as one of the better 3rd place teams to get through. Stay tuned to the end of the video to figure out. 2nd place, I'm going to go Switzerland. And the main reason I'm going 2nd place is because Germany 1st place. I think they have too many players on form coming into the tournament. They have to. Julian Nagelsmann has to lead this team to get 1st place. No excuses. If you asked me 6 months ago when I wasn't sure what the team form would be looking like coming to the tournament, I would have told you, oh yeah, Switzerland or Hungary 1st, Germany 2nd or 3rd. But I'm confident with this Germany team with so many players coming in form. I'm confident. So yeah, Germany 1st, Switzerland 2nd, Hungary 3rd, Scotland 4th. Let's go on to the next group, which is Group B. And my theme for Group B is transition. This is the transition group. People will look at this group name-wise and say, oh my God, Spain, Croatia, Italy. This is group of death. But you have to realize that all of these teams are in transition. Let's start with Spain, led by Luis de la Fuente, the new manager that took over after Enrique, after the World Cup. They're coming off a bad World Cup. Yes, they got to the knockout stages, but they got embarrassed by Morocco. And since then, though, some of these Spanish players have grown. Just like that Switzerland team, some Spanish players have popped up and grown. Rodri, probably best midfielder in the world, let's be honest. He's doing everything for City, leader of that team in the midfield alongside Kevin De Bruyne. A guy like Lamine Yamal, who's probably a starter in this Spanish team now at 16, 17 years old, one of the best dribblers in the world. So guys like that have entered in this Spanish team and are really making it their own. Unfortunately for Spain, I think this player is a key part of what the Spanish team is about and what they're trying to do. Is Gavi. Gavi won't be ready after his knee injury, catastrophic knee injury. that he had during the season. He won't be there at the Euros. And for the Spanish team, it's like I said, transition with these teams. They got rid of a lot of the old guard. There is really none of the old guard left besides maybe Dani Carvajal. But he wasn't even part of that World Cup winning team in that, the Busquets and Xavi and those guys. He wasn't part of that. So, yeah, I think the defense for Spain is a little suspect. Lenormand, quality center back for Real Sociedad, but I'm not sure how I feel about Laporte, who's been playing in the Saudi Poop League, still being in the center of that defense. I'm not sure how I feel about that, and I've never been too confident with Spain having Unai Simon in goal, to be honest. So, yeah, they got Morata leading the line. The Spanish team is in transition. Guys like Pedri, Gavi, Yamal, young center back Kubarsi, who exploded onto the scene for Barcelona this season, still 17 years old. This team is in transition. They have Balde at left back, who's been injured a lot of the whole season for Barcelona. I'm not sure he'll be there. But yeah, this is definitely a Spanish team in transition, but they have plenty of quality to make it run in this tournament. Don't get it twisted. Croatia, same thing. Transition phase right now. I think this is the last tournament for guys like Modric, Brozovic, Vida, and those guys. This is definitely the last tournament for them. And so, yeah, you got a last dance scenario for Modric. And Modric, the leader of this team, who has been a bench player for Real Madrid all season, he has been making impact for Real Madrid off the bench. And I wouldn't be surprised if Modric just pulls up and drops a historic performance in this Euros at 38, 39 years old. That's just what Modric does. You know what I mean? But like I said, like Spain, like we're going to talk about in Italy, transition. These guys, they're going to play their last tournaments. And this tournament, guys like Josip Stanisic from Leverkusen, Gvardiol, one of the best defenders in the world right now, Gruda from Mainz, who's one of the most exciting talents and exciting young dribblers coming into this Croatia team. I really think this is a transition tournament for Croatia. That doesn't mean they can't make a run. They weren't that impressive at the last Euros, let's be honest. But yeah, Croatia, transition, not sure what to feel about this team. Also with Spain, I'm not sure how to feel. But another team I have no idea what to expect from is Italy. The team who's probably in the most is it even a transition? It's a transition. A lot of the old guard, Chiellini, Bonucci, not going to be there. Verratti's not going to be there. So yeah, this Italy team, 2 back-to-back World Cups, not like Germany grouped. They didn't make 2 back-to-back World Cups, but they are the defending European champions. But the difference between that team and this team is, first of all, this Italy team is much weaker than they were 3 years ago. Much weaker. And they remember last Euros under Mancini, they were coming into the tournament on like a 44-45 match unbeaten streak. This Italy team is not like that. They don't have that confidence. They don't have that swagger about them. Guys like Spinazzola aren't there. He never really recovered after his big knee injury in that tournament in the Euros. They have Donnarumma, Vicario, good goalkeeping depth, but their defense is led by Bastoni and Di Marco. Don't get me wrong, great players, but it's not that Italian standard. In the midfield, you have Jorginho and Barella still. They're great players, but I'm not sure, what I'm supposed to expect from those. And the attack is just horrid. And I'm pretty sure Insigne is still going to be called up. Immobile, Scamacca. Not looking good. And obviously Chiesa still there, but let's be honest, after his knee injury, he hasn't been the same as well. So Italy, what am I don't know. This Italy team, I don't know what to expect. I'm not expecting much. I'm going to be honest. I'm not expecting much. So Italy, man, their expectations probably quarterfinals max. If they made it to the quarterfinals, I think they'd be happy. Let's be honest. If you're Italian, let me know, but they would be happy with quarterfinals. And Albania, man, people will look at him as minnows. Albania do have some quality players, spread around Syria. They have in the Premier League, they have the likes of Broha at Fulham, Strakosha, the Brentford goalie, but he is the Brentford number 2. Flecken is the number 1 at Brentford. So yeah, Albania, they're just going to have to shut up shop, keep it tight, and try to counter these teams. These teams will probably have more possession in the games against them. And for Albania, getting out of this group is going to be a miracle. So for my final group rating, I'm sorry, Albania. I just don't think it's going to happen for you. They're kind of going to be happy they're just here. When is the last time Albania has played a tournament? Or this might be Albania's first tournament. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, 4th place for Albania. And just because I have no idea what to expect from them, and I'm really not that hot on them. Not many of their players are coming to this tournament in form. Italy, I'm going to go 3rd place. I'm not even sure yet while I'm filming this video if I'll choose them as one of the wild card 3rd place teams to go into the knockouts. I'm really not sure what to feel about Italy. I'm going to go Croatia 2nd. And the only reason I'm going Croatia second is because I think in the transition, their team is slightly weaker than Spain's because Spain still has plenty of quality. Just think of their midfield: Pedri, Rodri, or Mikel Merino, Zubamendi. In attack: Oyarzabal, Lamine Yamal, Morata, Nico Williams. In defense: Kubarsi, Laporte, Lenormand, Carvajal, all those guys. Obviously, Unai Simon in goal. I already expressed my lack of confidence in him as the Spanish goalie, but I think Spain will be strong enough, and I think they'll get first, Croatia second, Italy third, and Albania fourth. So Group C, I think this is a pretty straightforward group. Let's just start with Slovenia. No chance. I think this is their first tournament. Jan Oblak has been leading this team for how long now? I just, what Slovenia, Albania. Actually, Albania's chances are higher than Slovenia's. Slovenia don't have any attacking weapons, in my opinion. For them, it's going to be all about defense, and try to counter. That's what Slovenia is going to do. So not much analysis needed there on Slovenia. Just shut up shop, play disciplined, and hit them with any counter you could that falls to your feet. So yeah, but now that I said that, because I just remembered what I'm going to say about Denmark and Serbia. Let's just get to that. Denmark, they're trash. Horrible World Cup. I mean, they were horrible, awful at the World Cup. And since then, just a whole lot of mid from Denmark. They're not really coming into this tournament in form. Can you name me a single Danish player in form coming into this tournament? You probably can't. So for Denmark, man, I'm not sure what to expect. Guys like, remember Damsgaard, the brilliant young Danish kid that was kind of filling in for Eriksson after that horrible thing that happened to Eriksson. I still can't believe it. Scariest moment I ever witnessed live on my TV when I was watching Eriksson collapse like that. And remember, Damsgaard, he just didn't prosper into the player people thought he would after that tournament. He might be a one tournament wonder. He's still relatively young, so let's wait on that, but it's not looking good for Damsgaard. But yeah, Denmark, not sure what to expect, man. Eriksson is still in the team. Christensen, obviously, Barcelona defender. You can't underrate him. He's going to be their leader of the defense, but yeah, Denmark, not really much going on. And for Serbia, same thing. Some of Serbia's players, Milinkovic, Savic, Mitrovic, went to the Saudi Poop League. And I'm sorry, I can't respect and take any players seriously at an international tournament like the Euros if they've been playing in the Saudi Poop League the season prior to the tournament. I'm sorry. I know Mitrovic just led Al Hilal to a crazy winning streak and won the title, and he has the most goals, more than Ronaldo in the Saudi Poop League, but I just don't like that for Serbia. They have guys like Kostic in the team, but Kostic, after leaving Eintracht Frankfurt, which I wish he never did, he went to Juventus. He's been on and off over there. So the Serbia team, Dusan Tadic, let's be honest, Dusan Tadic has never really performed for Serbia like he did when he was at Ajax. And he's in Turkey nowadays too. So for Serbia, not much going on. And obviously the big hitters, probably second tournament favorites and absolute favorites to get out of this group in first place, 9 out of 9 points. England, Gareth Southgate's team, probably the second or third most stacked team in terms of talent in the whole world. Second in Europe for me, I think France is number one. We'll get to France in a bit. I think they're the next group. But for England, man, absolutely one of the tournament favorites. Harry Kane and Bellingham gonna lead this team. And can England? I really feel like Gareth Southgate. This might be Gareth Southgate's last. If they don't win this, I do think this might be Gareth Southgate's last tournament with this England team. Because yes, he's improved their performances and tournament results. At some point, you have to win, and I think England is so close. They're so close. I really see them winning this Euros, and guys like Kane, Bellingham, gonna lead that team. Like I just said, think of all the other quality they have. Rice, top 5 midfielder in the world this season. Guys like Palmer on the bench, Foden and Saka. So this England team is coming into the tournament with dynamite, and they're here to win. So obviously, I'm going to place England, but who am I going to go fourth place in this group? I'm going to say Slovenia. That may be a basic pick. Now that I think about it and how mid Denmark and Serbia are, I wouldn't be too surprised if Slovenia somehow get a third or second place in this group. But for now, I'm going to go fourth. Third place, I'm going to go Denmark. And the only real reason I'm going Denmark third is because Serbia, yes, I just flamed the Saudi Poop League, but at least Milinkovic, Savic, and Mitrovic have been playing well over there and are coming into some form into the tournament. Mitrovic being the top scorer in that shitty league. So, yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons I'm going to go Serbia second. I also, as a German, might put too much respect into Serbia. I will always have scars and nightmares from when they beat us in the opening game of the 2010 World Cup 3-2. Shout out to that bum Paul the Octopus who picked every single game right, even in Germany's losses. That piece of rest in peace. And yeah, obviously England first. Not much else to say about this group. Yeah, Group D. This is like a semi group. I think this is more, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, this is more of the group of death than Group B, because none of these teams are really in transition. The only thing I'll say, and we'll start with them first, Poland. This is the worst Poland team in 15 to 16 years. Lewandowski's finished. Chesney is still doing his thing in goal, but guys like Piotr Zielinski and all this, it's not the same. Lewandowski has been checked out as a footballer ever since he scored in the World Cup and in the knockout stage against France in that round of 16 game. He has been checked out mentally. He can't carry this team like he used to. And in qualifying, previously in many years, Lewandowski would be always scoring, always assisting. In these qualifiers, Poland didn't really rely on him. He wasn't scoring and assisting at such high frequency like he used to. So that's something interesting about Poland. And I will say they came through the the playoff brackets. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I watched that Wales-Poland game. Wales should have won 4-5-0. They had so many chances. Poland was hanging on, and they just somehow scraped by. So yeah, Poland, not many expectations. Worst Polish team I think I've seen in my life since I can remember football. And yeah, not much going on for Poland. Netherlands. What can I say? The Dutch. Here's the thing about the Dutch. They have a very good team. People are not realizing how good this team actually is. But the main issue is the attack. Just think about their defense guys. De Vrij, De Ligt, who's been fantastic for Bayern these last months. Van Dijk. Then they have guys like Frimpong, one of the best right backs in the world for Leverkusen at right back. They have a guy in Ian Maatsen, who's a Champions League finalist with Dortmund as a starting left back, the youngster from Chelsea. In midfield, they have guys like Darun De Jong. There is quality in this team, but I am not sure I want to put my stocks into Daniel Malin, Memphis Depay, and Memphis Depay and Wout Weghorst attack. You know what I mean? I'm not putting any of my stocks and belief in that. So my main issue with this Netherlands team is that attack is stinky, man. That Dutch attack is stinky. Gakpo also very stinky player. Very, very stinky attacker. I don't trust that guy at all to get the job done for Netherlands. So yeah, Netherlands, strong defense, decent midfield, trash attack is how I describe this Netherlands team. And if I'm going to put some expectations on this Dutch team, it's to get out of this group and potentially make it quarterfinals. Obviously, they made the quarterfinals at the last World Cup, and they almost beat Argentina, that crazy ass game. But yeah, Netherlands, I'm not too hot on them coming into this tournament. Austria, the polar opposite. This team is on fire coming into this tournament, led by Ralf Rangnick. Ralf Rangnick has came. He's doing a madness with this Austria team. I think Austria is unbeaten in 13, 14 games. They pimped on Germany. What was that score? I don't know. They pimped on Germany a couple months ago back in November. That was embarrassing. So yeah, this Austria team, their midfield is a workman midfield. Leimer, Sabitzer, Schlager, those guys will work, and run for that ball all game long. I like what Rangnick has done with this Austria team. He's not trying to do anything special. He's came in, he set them up the way he believes the players of this quality should be set up to succeed the most. And right now, yes, they're friendlies and all this, but in the Euro qualifying, they were great. He is setting this team up to do something at this tournament. I think they're one of the dark horses, in all honesty. And the only thing about this Austria team is, they don't have the greatest strikers. Arnautovic, I'm not putting any hype behind Arnautovic, but yeah, Austria just seem to be getting the job done right now. Another big question mark is, will David Alaba be ready? As far as I'm concerned, I've seen nothing about David Alaba being ready after his ACL injury to be ready for the Euros. So unfortunately, that's going to be a big miss. He's been the leader of this Austria team since he was 19 years old. Starting left back for Bayern, winning the treble. So that's going to be a big miss for them, but they've been coping just fine this last 8 or 9 months in the friendlies without him. So yeah, Austria, for me, dark horses, and they could easily make a quarterfinals, which would be huge for Austria. And remember this Austria team, they gave Italy a game in the last Euros. They almost knocked Italy out. Italy struggled to beat this Austria team in the round of 16 last Euros. So yeah, this Austria team, don't sleep on them. They're better than they were 3 years ago, and they're coming into the tournament in form. And obviously, France. In my opinion, the most stacked national team in the world. Absolute number one favorites for this tournament. Best squad going into this tournament. Just think of all the players they have, man. Manyan in goal. In defense, Kunde, Pavard, Upamecano, Konate, Saliba. Like, what the heck? Lucas Hernandez, who just tore his ACL and all that, so he's not going to be there. But his brother, Theo Hernandez at left back, midfield, Camavinga, Chouameni, Griezmann, attack, Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Muani, all these guys. It's like, where the heck is all this talent coming from for France? Can you share some with me? Can you share some with Germany? Like, holy shit, bro. Send some of them to Germany when they're young, bro. We need to get those kids off the streets of Paris and into the German national team, kid. This France team, man. I do think, though, with this France team, I think this might be Deschamps' last tournament. It's going to be his last hurrah. This France team is slowly getting stale with his ideas, and they need. I really feel like this France team needs someone new to inject some life into this France team, because since that World Cup, in the games, they just haven't inspired. They've looked flat, uninspired, really. So France, though, that does not stop me from putting them as favorites in this whole entire tournament, and obviously favorites in this group. Yeah. What else do you want me to say about France? They have weapons everywhere. But remember, last Euros, they had weapons everywhere. Pogba, Benzema, all these players, and Switzerland dunked on them. So let's wait and see. But I really think this is their tournament to win alongside England. And they are absolutely the top favorites. So for me, let's get into my ratings for this group. Who do I think will finish fourth? Poland. This is, like I said, worst Polish team I've seen. Definitely, probably, I think Polish fans would agree, worst Polish team in 15 to 16 years. Third, I'm going to do it, man. Netherlands third. I cannot trust that attack of Depay, Wout Weghorst, Gakpo, and all those guys. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. As good as those defenders are, as good as Frimpong, De Ligt, Van Dijk, me and Matson, De Jong are, I don't think it will be enough, because I think Austria, excuse me, I just ripped a burp. I think Austria will surprise in this group. I think Austria will get second, led by Ralf Rangnick, and I think Deschamps will get his team to a first place. Maybe, what are we saying, like a 7-pointer, 9-pointer first place finish for France? Maybe potential draw against Austria and win against Netherlands, Poland. I don't know, but I think they'll get first. And yeah, I think this is a tough group to still predict. I think the tough is, it's what we don't know what the Netherlands will do. If the Netherlands come out on fire, I think I'd favor them for second, but Austria's on fire, and I have no reason to believe these guys are going to just flop at this Euro, so I think they'll get second. Group E. Now, on surface value, people will look at these teams and be like, what? This is the worst group of the tournament. This group is trash. But I'm sorry, please. Relax, guys. Relax. The teams in this group, they play exciting football. Maybe not Slovakia, but Belgium, Romania, Ukraine. Look out for these games, man. Don't just sleep on them and don't watch. Let's start with Belgium. A team that was in transition last World Cup. They were horrible last World Cup. I mean, absolute crap. Group stage exit to show for it. And, they've gotten rid of old guys like Vertonghen, Alderweireld, and all this. And their defense is not as strong. Yes, Courtois just came back from injury, and he looks like he's on fire for Real Madrid. Already playing out as one of the best goalkeepers in the world after being out for 8 months. So that's a plus for them. But the defense, backline, center backs ain't really it. But the quality going forward for Belgium, it's kind of scary. They're undefeated in 13 under Dominic Tedesco. And just think of the players they have. My thing is, though, they have Yuri Tielemans, Onana, Trossard, Doku, Openda. And those guys are going to be led by Lukaku, who's had a great season for Roma this year, and KDB, who is in form for Man City right now, leading the title charge. They just beat Spurs today, and he was crucial to that. I think this Belgium team, with guys like Eden Hazard and Thorgan Hazard finally thrown out of the team, are going to be a scary attacking monster at this tournament. I really think they're going to be a team that can be high scoring. And, a year ago, I wouldn't have said Belgium have a chance in this tournament, but I'm sorry, they do. The only thing holding them back is that back line. It's just not that strong. So they're going to be a attack-focused team going into this tournament. Slovakia, first tournament in a while. They have Milan Skriniar back there. I'm pretty sure Marek Hamšík doesn't play anymore. But, yeah, not much analysis for Slovakia. Defend, counter, pray. for Slovakia. That's all I'm going to say. Romania topped their group in qualifying. They were very impressive. Um, yeah, I like what the Romanians are doing. Um, they didn't have to go through playoffs. They were fantastic in qualifying. Yes, they don't have a lot of big name players that people will recognize. I'm pretty sure Haji's son is on the team, but there's not many players on this Romania team that people will recognize. I think the only Romanian players besides Haji and Haji's son I could think of is this guy. I think he played for Lazio, this guy Radu, and I'm not sure he plays for that team anymore, but they were impressive in qualifying. But will Romania be a scenario where they're fantastic in qualifying but trash in the tournament? I have a feeling they might. I won't put that label on them just yet because I feel like it will be unfair. I'm not going to sit here and act like I watched all of Romania's games. I didn't. But I think this could be a case where someone is good in qualifying and trash in tournament. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Still quality team and still 100% deserve to be here. And Ukraine, a team that did have to get through playoffs. And I don't know what it is about Ukraine the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I've always respected them. They've always been, for any team, a tricky team. And remember, last Euros, they got to the quarterfinal. Now, yes, trust me, I know. They had one of the most disgraceful, disgusting, spineless, dickless performances in that quarterfinal I've ever seen. 4-0 to England. They made Maguire look like prime Beckenbauer. They couldn't defend any set pieces, any corners. It was disgusting behavior from Ukraine. But this time, they have Lunin, who's been the starting Real Madrid goalie all season because of Courtois' injury. Fantastic goalie. They have Zinchenko in midfield. They have Dobvik, who is top scorer in La Liga right now and has inspired Girona with his goals to a place in the freaking Champions League. Obviously, there's guys like Mudryk, who's kind of just all pace. I don't think he's that talented. I don't know why Chelsea paid $3 billion for him. But this Ukraine team has weapons, and they were very tricky last Euro. So I'm putting a lot of stock into this Ukraine team going into the tournament. I definitely think they can make another quarterfinals run if things fall into place for them. But as for Group E, I think fourth place will be Slovakia. And I'm sorry if you think my picks have been a little basic with these minnow teams, but the issue with these Euros is that because they allow 4 out of 6 of the third place teams to go into the knockout stages, it's very rare that you get huge upsets in the groups at a Euros tournament. It's very rare. Typically, all the better teams, all the top teams go through to the knockout stages. So I'm sorry if you think my picks are a little basic, but historically, that's just kind of how it's been. Last Euros, for sure, it was like that. All the top teams went through. So that's why, they may seem basic, but I have a reason to. I don't know if Slovakia has it in them. I think third place, I'm going to go Romania. I just have that feeling that they're amazing in qualifying and going to be weak in the tournament. I don't know. First tournament in a while for them too. I'm just not sure. I'm going to put too much stocks in Romania. I'm for sure putting my stocks in Ukraine. Always a tricky team in my opinion. Dovik, Zinchenko, Mudryk, Lunin. They got some players to do some damage, and I think Belgium, with their attack, I think they're going to be an attacking demon at this tournament. Will finish first in Group E. Group F, final group, last group of the 6. Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, Czech. Let's start with Portugal. I think Portugal is one of the most overrated teams. Their team is not as talented as people think. The best Portuguese player, in my opinion, is Bernardo Silva. But when have we ever seen Bernardo Silva perform for his nation? Not often. A lot of these players are great at club and not too good for Portugal. So for Portugal, yes, they're the favorites for this group to get out in first, but I'm not too hot on them. A lot of people put Portugal in the bracket of France and England for tournament favorites. I don't. I'd put them below Germany. I'd put them like Spain level, Dutch level, to be honest. I don't trust Portugal at all. And in my opinion, they were awful at the last Euros. Barring that one win against Hungary in the opening game, they were awful. So for Portugal, man, CR7, Christina's still running the front line. Pepe is still leading the back, although Pepe is a fantastic defender at 40 years old still. And yeah, I just, for this group, obviously they're favorites, but for tournament overall, I'm not sure I'm expecting Portugal to make a final or a semifinal. I'm just being completely honest with you guys. Georgia, let's talk about Georgia. I watched them in the play. I won't lie, I didn't watch any of their qualifying games until the playoff bracket, and those Georgians were going crazy. If those Georgian fans could pull up to Germany and in waves like that, this Georgia team has a chance. Unfortunately, they don't have too much quality. Like their best player is Kvaratskhelia, and he's kind of had a mid-season in Napoli after his great season alongside Osimhen, Kim, and led by manager Spalletti to win the league title with Napoli. But Kvaratskhelia, he's going to be the most important player for them. Georgia have to sit back, defend, and Kvaratskhelia and co in attack have to be consistent and reliable outlets to get the ball from the back line, hold it up, and launch counterattacks against teams like Portugal and Turkey. So, yeah, Georgia, I could see them getting out of the group. Don't get me wrong. I definitely can see them getting out of the group. But yeah, first tournament, let's see how they do. First tournament jitters, let's see how they do. Turkey, one of the most biggest disappointments last Euros. I put so much stock into this Turkey team last Euros. You guys, I'm 97% Persian, 3% Turkish by blood. I checked on Ancestry.com. And if you wonder why I support Germany alongside Iran, it's because I was born there. A lot of my mom's family lives there. So show some respect. Okay? I've been supporting Germany since 06 World Cup. All right, so show me some respect. But Turkey, man, I took that 3% Turkish blood and I flaunted it. I wore one of my old Turkey jerseys that I bought in Germany because the jersey was so ugly. And they produced they were by far the worst team in the entire tournament. And people were saying their dark horse can make a semifinal because they were coming into the tournament on good form, which is why I was reluctant on Romania in the last group. But this Turkey team is different, I think. Arda Güler is going to be there. Çalhanoğlu and those guys are going to be there. Got young guys from Juventus like Yildiz are going to be there. I think this Turkey team will do a lot better. And number one factor that I'm putting more faith in this Turkey team is that the fact that it's in Germany. You guys, I guarantee you, every Turkey game at this Euros is going to feel like a Turkey home game, like you're playing in Istanbul. I'm telling you right now, the Turkish population in Germany is massive. If you go and watch the Turkey-Germany friendly from last year in Germany, the stadium had more Turkish fans than German fans. And you know that Turkish fans are some of the craziest in the world. You know this Turkish team plays different in front of their fans. So that is why I'm putting a lot more stock into Turkey this tournament. So just watch out for that fact. I feel like a lot of people aren't recognizing that. Turkish support in Germany is huge, and they will be there. And this team will be there to thrive off their energy. And obviously, we have Czech Republic. Remember, they were fantastic last Euro. Schick scored a halfway line goal. I think he ended up top goal scorer at the tournament, or maybe he was second. I'm not 100% sure. But since then, Schick had a rough time at Leverkusen. He's kind of rebounded in this season where Leverkusen has been the best team in the world, if not second best team in the world. It's hard to look bad in a team that good. But yeah, I just don't think the Czech, I don't think they have enough weapons to do anything. I honestly like Georgia's chances more than the Czech Republic's chances in this group. And for that, I'm going to go Czech Republic fourth. I'm going to go Georgia third. I'm still, even though I'm about to show you guys who my best third place teams are, I'm not sure if I'll go Georgia yet as one of the better third place teams to get through to the round of 16. Second, I'm going to go Turkey. People are not talking about the Turkish support in Germany. I'm telling you, mark my words. Every home game for them, every game in this tournament for Turkey will feel like a home game. Mark my words on that. And first for Portugal, honestly, if Portugal didn't have, I think their squad is overrated, but obviously they have tons of quality with guys like Bernardo Silva, Nuno Mendes, Pepe, and all that. But if their team didn't have that much quality, I would go Turkey first over them, to be honest. So I think Portugal will get first, though, with the quality they have. I won't disrespect them too much. So yeah, those are the 6 groups, and let me just go back here. I want to stress to you guys, this tournament is wide open. Yes, England and France are some of the major favorites for the tournament, but teams like Germany, with all their players coming to the tournament in form, dark horses like Austria, I'm telling you, don't sleep on Austria. They can do something. And before we head out of here, I'm going to share my screen on another site to show you guys who I think the 4 of the 6 third place teams are going to go. So if you didn't know, in the Euros, so there's 6 groups, so that means there'll be 6 third place teams. And to basically get a round of 16 going, they started allowing the 4 best third place teams out of 6 to go to the knockout stages. So here we are. I go to the UEFA website and make your groups. I have my 6 third place teams here. I'm for sure going to go Hungary. I think I'm going to back them to go to the knockout stages this time. I'm for sure going to go Netherlands. I think I might have disrespected them a little bit in my analysis, but they're definitely going to be in those knockout stages. They won't get grouped. I think I'll go Italy. There's no way they're going to get grouped, right? The defending champions, come on. The Italian passion, lots of Italians in Germany, they'll be there supporting the team. So then it comes down to that fourth spot: Denmark, Romania, Georgia. And to be honest, I might have disrespected them a little bit too much, but I think Romania will get through. Denmark and Georgia will get grouped from the third place teams. And yeah, I'll have Hungary, Italy, Netherlands, and Romania as my 4 wildcard teams going into the knockout stages. So there's my predictions. Man, you guys put some respect on my predictions, because if you were here for my AFCON and Asia Cup predictions, those were damn good. I was getting good results and my predictions were on the money for the most of Asia Cup and AFCON. So I'm hoping that it's the same for the Euros. I got to continue that little credit I built for myself 6 months ago. And like I was saying 3-4 minutes ago, open tournament, anyone could win. I cannot wait for this shit. Germany, los geht's. Let's get this shit done. Let's get the fans excited again. Let's go for that trophy. I wish all the best to everyone's teams, whoever you're supporting. This has been Hokage Puya, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm going to drop my Copa America group predictions probably later this week, so look out for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.